What do you at?
I still got my, wow.
I seen Sittler, Kenny.
Pardon?
Kenny Sittler. You know him, don't you? He used to be the meter man, put the boots on. Came up to Seenberger.
What about him?
I just seen him up there. He's getting ready to go to Florida.
He's going to retire?
From Erie's own Government Access, Channel 9, from the City Hall Council Chambers, it's time once again for the Taxpayers Hotline Show. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host.
Here we are, a little bit late, but still on. I had a little, not feeling good yet. How about you?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Every day's a better day.
You sure? That's good. Kaskowski and my good friend
Ron Stemka.
And numbers on the screen, and we had a few calls off the air, but they'll call back.
I hope everybody had a nice Thanksgiving.
Do you have a lot of your turkey?
Oh, I'm starting to look like gobble gobble.
So, what do you think? What do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about that county council for just for a few minutes. We only 10 minutes per person on the lines here. 10 minutes per chat.
We'll try.
Okay. And another thing, like I said, county council, now they're trying to take over the transit authority. They have a meeting today at 5:30 down the library.
Yeah, that
they're
meeting.
They're trying to take away from the city.
It's a shame that meeting's tonight. We can't. We got budget sessions tonight.
That's probably why they put it on tonight, so they can.
Well,
you guys are busy. You can't come down and say anything.
Well, they're gonna. They got their own agenda, and I'm sure. Are you going?
No, I'm busy. I got a lot of things to do tonight. I'd be down there. You'd have to call the police department to get me out of there when I got down there.
Why that?
Oh, I don't like the way they're screwing the people over.
Well, I don't, they certainly got a different mindset at the county.
They think Erie's got a lot of money. Erie doesn't have. Erie's a distraught city. The sooner them idiots down there decide Erie's a distraught city and start helping the people and spending all the money like they're drunken sailors.
Well, what was told to me years ago that, think of this, if someplace in the county is doing bad, right? Someplace else is probably doing good. In some counties, in this county, that's true. Even though the county as a whole is stagnant, it doesn't take. You can see it.
See it where? There's nothing.
The city has lost a lot of its population and everything, and the shift has gone out to some of the suburbs. So the county is. On one hand, is doing well out there, okay? Plus, they got this influx of cash from the casino. If there's one disappointing thing, has always been with me, is that, and I can't speak for every other casino in the Commonwealth, but I do know about the one in, Bethlehem, Allentown area.
They're probably doing good.
They're doing good, but they also got a cooperation agreement where the two major cities are benefiting it. I got to be truthful, and somebody wants to correct me, that's fine, but have you seen any money come to the city from the casino?
Nope.
Not except for a couple little programs here and there, but...
well, that tax relief that you give homeowners, the Homestead Act,
but that benefits everybody in the Commonwealth equally, It's supposed to.
Money?
It's supposed to.
I thought it was just Erie County because of the gambling.
I don't think that's just us. I think that's a state.
Well, if anybody knows, please call me.
I think that's a state. That was a state deal. That's why they did it. The state. Remember, the state takes their cut,
right,
and then the county takes their cut.
Right.
The gamblers take their cut, and what's left, if you read the paper, what is it? Usually about $1 million or something goes to the casino, right?
Well, the hosting township. They get money too.
Well, that's all.
If they would have had that in Erie wouldn't be fighting about, how are we going to tax everybody?
Well,
they'd be fighting to spend the money.
Well, the way the law was written, the cut that the county gets now, that's because, as I understand it, and I don't, Summit doesn't have a huge budget, so they can't get a windfall. Okay, so they get so much money that
the hosting
Yeah, but they can't make a windfall. The way it's designed is, can you take over the phone call a minute, or? I gotta take a phone call real quick.
So if anybody wants to talk about county council shafting the people, please call in. Like I said, you had $30 million in the budget. I think it was $3 or $4 million to balance the budget and didn't have to raise taxes. But they went the wrong way, and a lot of people on county council really teed off. So like I said, you better, next time around, you better see who you're voting for. And a lot of people know how I feel towards one of them. He thinks every city, county has all kinds of money to spend, like the hotel, their parking ramp. Now he wants to take over the bus stop. Now he wants to take that over. Now, he'll probably do is put in authority. Authority is the worst thing people could put in here. They get on their boards, like the water department. They're on there. They have no control. They do what they want to do. The board's picked by probably their best friends, and, I need a raise this year. Instead of 180, I want 190. So that's how they work. So, anybody want to call in? So what do the people think about the tax raising on county taxes? No one's speaking today. Kaz left the room. All right, then. There's a meeting, I think, tonight at the library about the transit authority. So if anybody wants to go down there and talk about what's going on, how they feel towards the transit authority being taken over by that county, there's a meeting tonight, I'm pretty sure tonight. So, all right. Kind of quiet out there. Anybody on the phone? Are we on the air? So, Kazi's on the phone call. Hello? You on? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on. I gotta turn my phone down here. My TV. Oh, okay. Okay, we clear?
Yes, we are.
Okay. What are you worried about? $43 on a $100,000 home. First time in 7 years a tax raise in the county, and this mayor in 10 years raised over 35%. 35% back when he started. You realize how much that much money is?
A lot of money.
Yeah, you're worried about $43,000.
What I'm worried about is, it's not just me. I'm not worried. I don't worry about it. I'm worried about the people that have fixed income. $43 to a lot of people, a lot of money out there.
35% in 10 years has raised the city taxes. They're the same people. Worse, because it's the poorest group of people. And there was no outrage, nobody calling. Everybody's making a big deal out of this. This is disgusting. 7 years they raised the taxes one time, and the mayor, plus the underground the fees, the garbage, and the sewer.
Oh, the backdoor taxes you're talking about.
And took police off. We got Little Detroit is what we have now because he took all those police officers off. Are you people serious?
Well, like I said, it isn't me. I don't worry about it. But I'm worried about the person that don't have it. People call up their credit union. Is my check deposits going to go get a loaf of bread? That's how bad Erie is. If you see what goes on in Erie, it's unbelievable. That's who I'm fighting for, not myself. You know what I'm saying?
Why didn't you complain when the mayor raised all these taxes? Nobody said a word. Everything.
No one says a word. I brought it up about that garbage fee. No one said a word about it. But you bring about stuff around the city, people will let him do the yelling. I don't want to yell. Why should I get myself upset? But
you're screaming about the $43 on a $100,000 home for the county.
yeah, but they had $30 million in the budget. They could have took $3 million and had an even balanced the budget. $30-some million in the budget, and they took it. They wouldn't take the $3 or $4 million out of that.
How about the $12 million emergency fund the city has? They're sitting. Now, when was the last emergency the city had? Was in 1914 when the Mill Creek tube.
That was before my time.
Last catastrophe, the catastrophe fund. We have $12 million sitting there. Okay, talk about it. You tell me where the logic is.
Well, look at the Water Authority. There's a prime example. You know, how many homes did Mill Creek, the city, acquire from Mill Creek Water Department that was put into the city? But just say, this is a number, okay, it was, let's say 10,000 people. That's being light. 10,000 people, okay? And they pay that add-on that make your bill out, okay? It's $30-some to make out your bill. I never had a bill that I had to pay for them to make my bill out. Did you notice your water bill? Have you noticed your water bill? For the last couple of years, you've been paying a tax to make your bill out. So if you got, just say, 10,000 times $32, that's a lot of money every quarter they're getting. And $300,000, I'd take that anytime. How can you get away with doing that? You tell me that. You still there?
Yeah, I'm having trouble hearing you. Okay. Well, that's all I have to say. I mean, this mayor has been the biggest disaster.
He's been the worst mayor. I thought Savacchio was bad.
And
she only sold the water department.
People agree with me. It's sinful for all the raising the taxes and taking a police force, and now people are afraid to go downtown. Look at the article in the paper. People downtown. That's pathetic.
Oh, it is pathetic. I can remember when we were kids going downtown. It was beautiful downtown. Theaters to go to, 3-4 of them. People were always downtown. Not no more.
When I was a kid, I grew up on East 3rd Street. We used to be able to walk up to the stadium, go to football games, and walk back. You think you could do that? You can't even walk up State Street today in the daytime.
I lived on 18th. I lived on 18th and Cherry. Nicest neighborhood, nicest people, and we used to walk the Chestnut Pool a couple times a week. We had no problems. That was a beautiful neighborhood. You can leave your door wide open. No one bothered you. If anybody from another neighborhood came in, you go up to them, hey, where are you from, or what are you doing here? You meet them once and they don't come back.
Why are people afraid to walk downtown today? You tell me.
Well, you got a lot of people down here in these hotels, like the Boston Store and the Redford Arms. You got a lot of people in those, places, and you got to watch. These young kids are down on 5th and State there, and McDonald's. They hang around McDonald's, and those are the ones you got to look out for.
You're right. Okay, that's all I have to say. I just wanted to bring that out. Okay. Good talking to you.
Oh, you too. Have a nice day.
What did I miss?
He was talking about, I'm complaining about the county raising $40-some a year for county taxes, okay? Mm-hmm. He said, how about the mayor? How much did he raise it over the time he's been mayor? The backdoor taxes and stuff.
You ready?
Yep.
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, that caller was talking about the mayor and his 10 years of raising taxes and taking credit for streamlining City Hall. Kaz, when I sit and listen to how he's cut employees at City Hall, the only employees that don't work for City Hall got transferred from the city to the county, and I'm talking about the call takers for emergencies. That took about 20-some people off your roster and cut your budget by $1 million, but shifted that cost to the county. So we didn't save nothing. That's just a shift of cost.
Well, over the years, let's see, we eliminated a few janitors.
Oh, that's great.
No, I mean seriously. And then before that, there was some police and fire, but I think I'm trying to remember, was that the end of the Flippy era, or was that?
Yeah, but, Kath, and I guess if there was a return on my investment, I'd be telling you, great job. But there's no return on our investment. It's getting worse. Kath, and I sit here and I listen. And listen to my math for a minute.
Yeah.
We have 40,000 less people in Erie, Pennsylvania than we did 20 years ago. I don't know how many years ago. But anyways, we have 40,000 less people in Erie, Pennsylvania. Am I correct with that number?
Yeah, we were probably in the, I'm guessing, 54 to 58. We were at 138,000. So
okay, so it's a little longer.
No, yeah, but I mean, it's been a what do you call it, progression of decline.
But here's my point. If we lost 40,000 people, we used to be able to house those 40,000 people where in Erie. And let's say the average family size is 4, mom, pa, and 2 kids.
Right.
So now you divide 40,000 by 4, that would mean to me that there's 10,000 units of housing somewhere in this city that aren't being utilized anymore. Because at one time, they housed them, and now we house 99,000, so there's got to be, in my way of thinking, about 10,000 vacant homes.
Okay, how many foreigners come into Erie? 10,000, right?
Now, I'm going to say that 10,000 that came in there, Ron, is counted in our population. We're not going to take a census and not put those people in the foreigners, the refugees from Bosnia.
Yeah, they're put back in now. There's always the count that you never have, or what they call the every community's got it. The people that are illegal, that and that's why when they ask for recounts, it's important to recount them too, if you can, because there's still a drain on your finances,
But Kath, and tonight, and you know how I feel about you bringing those department heads down there.
Yeah.
It's the cost of running the city. It's all protected or not protected. It's covered or protected by union agreements, and you can't touch any of that stuff. So when you're talking about some cost savings, it's paper clips and a box of paper and maybe a printer ink or something. You can't cut to the meat where you could really save some money. When he presents that budget, it is what it is. You people might as well not waste your time. And as a matter of fact, I'd rather have you down there defending the city against the county tonight over at EMTA than sitting there listening to the sewer department tell you this is it, and everybody smiles, laughs, and giggles and pats everybody on the back. And that's what happens, Cav. It's kumbaya down there.
Well, the problem is you're probably right, because I said before, in any government budget, the only 2 places you can really cut is personnel and debt. Now, debt can be assumed as many things, but debt is your bond issues, your various things, and payroll. I mean, those benefits and payroll are huge. Now, if you want to cut,
I'd forgive any council person that wasn't at that meeting tonight at the city and represented my city against the county.
Well, let me tell you,
business. Kaz, we just spent $60 million. Changed the middle of a neighborhood that needs some changes, and now the county wants to just stroll in here and Daddy Warbucks is going to come in and take it over. Kaz, that's not right.
Well, I got a warning for the county, because
I hope you do.
Well, I mean, when we went to that meeting, the 3 representatives, it was pretty much. Well, you can see what they're doing. They're going to go ahead with no matter what we say. They've made up their mind. They think, and when you brought up about 38,000 people less than 10,000, I'm not sure about the 10,000 less houses. I think you're pretty close, because there's a lot of empty lots around town. Okay,
You know, and Kaz, I ride around a little bit too, and I think when they just talk about 4,000 dilapidated homes that aren't being used, I think they're just trying to keep the number down. I really do.
Well,
I don't believe that number.
Well, I think a lot of them did disappear, because if you drive around town, a lot of them are gone now.
Yeah.
And a lot of people lived in various apartments.
Oh, yeah.
Like upper, what do you call it, second, third floor apartments around downtown.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of the places are gone, but, the county, there should be a warning sign.
Yeah.
Now, if 40,000 people left the city, correct?
Right, yeah.
Okay, would you think the county would have grown?
I would have thought the county would have experienced some growth, yeah.
Okay, but what has the county's population been
the same
for the last 30, 40 years?
Yeah, Erie County's just kind of been stagnated at like 280,000 people.
And
right?
actually,
I think that's what it is.
And if I read right, they actually said it lost a little population the last census.
Yeah.
Not the last census, but the last update census.
Yeah.
So, and then
I don't want to.
That's okay,
I don't want to tie it up because it's early.
But think about this: if the casino starts losing money, which it has been, So, and if the room tax doesn't generate that kind of money, the county right now is living in this flow of cash that things are going well, but
they were lucky. They're flush with cash, Kaz. I mean, any community or government could look good when they got that kind of infusion of money.
But they haven't shared any with the city yet.
Well, they haven't shared any with the city, and God darn it, we're the host community for so many things. I mean, we provide so many buildings that provide services to everybody in the city and Erie County. I mean, just that Taj Mahal courthouse down there. Look at what it provides for Erie County, and we're like whipping boys here for bad government. I mean, Kaz, you got to figure out how to get some money from those people that get public safety for free. We can't give public safety for free. It just doesn't work.
I keep talking with my legislators, but unless something changes that way,
those are
the ones where you got to get straight in some of these laws they have.
But you're not going to get like
though, Ron, when I hear that kind of talk, it's an excuse. I mean, let's raise some hell. I mean, I'd agree with you that we have laws to protect ourselves from bad things happening. But a bad thing to me is that when we're dying on the vine, we're charging people on fixed incomes too much for taxes, and it's not being spread around. Fair and equitable is what our country was based on. And in the city, fair and equitable doesn't exist when it comes to paying taxes. We're getting beat over. 60% of the people are paying for 100% of the city to run. We can't do that. I don't want to subsidize Hammett Hospital or Gannon College or Mercyhurst.
Non-profit, remember.
Or the Sheraton Hotel. We subsidize that thing, and every penny they make from that Sheraton Hotel goes to Chicago, Illinois, to the people that run it.
Oh, it's been 8-10 years since it's been there. We haven't paid it. They haven't paid it. Now the new hotel. Now them dummies, that county council. Well, we're gonna put the hotel and ramp. And that ramp, they shouldn't put that ramp. They should have put it in the big parking lot right by the convention center right there. You know? And they had the land there.
But the trouble is, when you talk honestly about some of the serious problems we have, you're looked upon as a naysayer. You just have this negative opinion. But when negativity is confused with being honest, that's when politicians become successful, because they want all these people that are going to go to a nightclub or a club and have wine and cheese parties. The people I know that get things done wear bib overalls and have a hammer hanging out of their pants.
That's the way.
And that's the way to build a community and build wealth. And all these people that depend on people that think they're smarter than everybody else, we're doomed.
That's the county council. That's what they think down there.
Hey, city council, you're probably sitting in somebody's seat right now that thinks he's a smart businessman. And I'm not sure whose seat you're in, but it's But hey, I'm going to go. I tied up a long time here, so hang in there, guys. Bye.
He was right about everything he said.
Excuse me, my cough.
Now he's talking about rents, okay? my grandson rented an apartment, 2-bedroom apartment, living room, kitchen. That's it. $800. Come on out of here. These people that are renting these houses and everything are making a fortune. All these foreigners coming in, and they walk in and take it away from them. That's why rents are so high.
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, I'm calling about last week on the news. I heard a policeman talking about the rights of walkers and things like that across the street. You don't have the right to cross like against the light or jaywalk and things like that.
That was on TV?
Yes, it was on like the portion of the news.
Right.
Well, anyway, I agree wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm.
What I wanted to talk about was I live on East 9th, and when I cross the street, and I am on a walker, when I cross the street, I always wait for that little man on the pole across the street that says to go.
Right.
What about these cars that have the right to turn on red?
They have to yield to pedestrians, always.
But they do not. That's my problem.
Well, that's a perception that I see it too, and I don't want to pick on our police officers, but I don't think they're as aggressive as they could be sometimes.
Agree.
Because I see people with rolling. When I used to walk downtown, when I worked downtown and I used to take walks, you'd see the rolling stop, I called it. The rolling stop is, you barely stop. You just, I'm going through.
Uh-huh.
And I think, I agree. When people cross in the middle of the street and you see these walkers, that's really bad,
Yes.
But if somebody, once they enter the intersection, because they don't have those islands anymore in the middle like they do in some cities.
Right.
Where, the drivers are supposed to yield to these people.
I have almost gotten hit quite a few times. They get so close, like to your butt, you can feel the wind from the vehicle.
Oh yeah, there's some ignorant people on both. What do you call it? Ignorance knows no side of the argument.
I'll say.
Because usually, if I see somebody that's crossing properly, you got to let them finish.
Well, a lot of people don't here on East 9th. Terrible. And then some lady just got hit with a car on French that lives in my building because nobody watches when they make that right turn. They are the ones that the police could say, you do not have that right to turn on red. That is not your right. Mm-hmm. It is a privilege.
Well, they always tell you.
We're not there.
You're supposed to, anytime you never assume the right of way. That's what I was always taught by my dad, who was a police officer. You never assume the right of way.
Right.
So that, if you're making a turn, you're supposed to come to a stop, look, and then go.
Well.
But, we put up with the rolling stop.
Somebody.
And you got to be careful with left-hand turns on red, too. You're allowed to do them.
Well, they're terrible here on East 9th. That's all I wanted to say. I heard them talking about, we do not have that, it's not our right to do, which I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But those cars are ridiculously, I don't know what to even say, but they don't care. They would hit you. And I stopped dead in the middle of the street one day because a car came so close to me. So I just said, you know what? Go ahead. And then, of course, they get very belligerent. But I always wait for that light because I will not, I don't want to get hit. But they don't care. They do not watch for the pedestrian on this particular corner. And that's the only one I can actually say,
Yeah, if you see someone with a walker, as long as they're, obeying the traffic law, if they get caught in the middle, you got to give them a little break,
Well, that's all I wanted to say. So, I hope you feel better.
He's dying over here.
Yeah, I got to go get another checkup. I'm not.
Yes, I think you better do something. But that's all I wanted to say. So you guys have a great day. Thank you.
You too.
Yeah, she's right about, some people just don't, they just, rolling stops and...
Well, there's all kinds of accidents this weekend. 38th and Pine Avenue.
Another one up there?
Yeah, yesterday.
I missed that one. Go ahead, caller.
Hello.
Paul Bunyan's.
After that.
Oh, yeah, it was a couple things.
He must have had about 4 or 5 different names.
Didn't it have an Italian name?
That's what I thought, but I couldn't think of the name.
Yeah, it was an Italian name. I'm trying to remember.
Begin with a V? Like Victor, a V?
I'm not sure. I have to think about it now because he got me wondering.
It came up over...
Yeah, it went to
or something like that.
Went to an Italian name later.
It was in there, in and out real quick.
Yeah, it's all but a memory now, though.
Now, I wonder what they're going to do with that land there. I thought they were going to put a country fair there at one
It
time.
was supposed to be. I don't know what's happening now. It's still owned by the oil company, though.
Oh, yeah, they all got money.
Well, the one that was going to build Country Fair.
I just found out that the Erie's sitting on one of the biggest gold mines.
Are you still there, sir?
Yes, I never went into the market, so I couldn't think of it. But it came up over the Thanksgiving dinner, and I never went into the market after Paul Bunyan.
Yeah, I'll try to find. I bet you my wife would remember.
Oh.
It's been a while, but
Quite a few years.
Who owns it? United Oil?
I think it's Keystone or United. I'm trying to remember. They
Country Fair owns it.
well, no, it's their parent company,
Right.
Keystone or United. I think it's Keystone.
Oh.
And there were plans, but they've been when it seemed like after that Mr. McGarry died, a lot of those plans went on hold. They had some aggressive plans. They were gonna close the one at Grandview. They were going to switch the one out by I-90 and Route 8 to the other side. Of course, they're going to build the one on 38th. There were all kinds of plans. But I'm not sure, every once in a while, I know that Mercyhurst they got permission to use it for parking. And when we have our, our market there, we had to get permission. Yeah, they've been pretty good to the neighborhood about, like when we have our farmers market and stuff. But I don't know where those plans are now. I don't think they're real serious, to tell you the truth.
In the city of Erie, there's nothing going on in the city of Erie right now.
Well, I mean, it would go there, but I don't think they feel like they want to right now.
Okay, well, I'll listen if anyone else calls in.
Oh, by the way, somebody asked me on the air about that car wash. There's 2 of them going up out there.
One.
Well, there's another one.
There's one over on Marion Street.
Right. Now, the one on Marion, I was wrong. That doesn't look like it's going to be a convenience store. Somebody thought it was.
It's going to be a laundromat and a car wash.
So just want to correct it.
Right.
Thank you for calling, sir.
Have a good day.
A friend of mine owns that South Erie restaurant. He's having a hard time getting someone in there.
Where's that?
South Erie Pizza Shop, Grandview.
Go ahead, caller.
Antonio's Market.
That was it.
That's it.
I knew it. It was an Italian name, but thank you.
No, that was it.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember because
I know it's on the corner where you said that Antonio's is the people from Mercyhurst aren't parking closer to 38th Street. They're parking back further. Did you notice that when you go by?
yeah.
Wonder why they're not allowed to park there no more?
I don't know. I understood they were using the front half, more.
Yeah.
I'll have to check into that with when I have the neighborhood watch meeting, see what I can find out.
I keep saying this. When they told everybody to start recycling,
Yeah.
I recycle my cans and my bottles in the bags that the grocery stores give out. I bundle my papers, then I put the garbage in another bag, and then it's about the 3rd time I've seen this. Thursday when they picked my garbage up, everything went in the same truck.
Garbage truck.
So why do you want people to recycle?
They keep telling me they don't do it, so I guess they do it.
Do it. I watched them. They came by Thursday night, bought
clear after 12. Everything I had out there went in the same truck.
So you're wasting your time.
Yep. Okay, that's all I had to say.
Thank you for calling.
Bye.
What do you think? Again, back to the rent in Erie's, $800 for an apartment. That's crazy.
Well, there's no-
And all these people coming, the foreigners are coming in Erie, and they get them set up for an apartment. They don't have to pay for it. You give them $7,000 for spending, and I'd probably give them a car.
Do you think that's inflating the cost of the apartments?
Oh, I think you stop and think how many apartments are in Erie.
Well, another problem we got on, southeast Erie side is the college kids don't care.
Oh no, I got one down the street from me.
Because if they can stick 5 or 6 kids in there.
How much do they get per kid a unit? Do you know offhand?
No, I heard a number once, but
Well, look at Gannon down here on 4th Street.
what I heard was it was pretty close to the dorm.
How much is the dorm?
But the way the kids get around it is, you're supposed to only have 3 in that house. But if they can sandbag 5 or 6, and you divide the cost up, I'll find out for you, because the guy that knew was Councilman Mirsky. He was talking with a couple of the kids one time, because he lived closer to them than I do. But I'll try to find out what they get for the apartments at the top of my hill,
They're getting good money, I'll tell you. Well, look at down here on 4th Street, 4th and Sassafras. They put that from Sassafras to Peach. How many dorms do you think? That's like 4 or 5 stories. I wonder how many condos are in there. I mean, apartments in there. You put 3 or 4 in.
If you watch, Mercier's is talking about bringing their kids back on campus. And, eventually, it's worth a lot of money to them.
Oh,
Yeah.
especially down here. You got that new apartment house down there.
Which is why Jimmy
Non-profit.
when Jimmy was Councilman Thompson,
Yeah.
he was amazed that even the apartments are tax exempt, and he's going, they make money. They're not part of the, you can talk about the classrooms, and but yeah, I never. When I went to college, I stayed at home, so.
When you were in college was probably $400 or $500 a semester.
Well, that was still a lot of money back then.
Back then,
Yeah.
not now. How much? 4,000 or 5,000 now?
What did I hear? It cost $7,000 to go to some of the grades. I mean, the high schools around here. See, college, I'm guessing I'd be way off line probably, but I wouldn't doubt if they're up. What, 14,000, 15,000 or more?
Yes, I would say that.
So I don't know what room and board is. Maybe somebody knows I can call.
Yeah.
But
we
all those things enter into that. Like if you got kids that are willing to pay that, and the landlords know that, they probably 3 kids would have a tough time doing it, but a bunch of kids, and they get away with it. So, not only are they breaking the law, but they're inflating the.
Now, how did the city make out on the... Let's jump to one more subject here. The fire department, they got 3% across the board for what, 4 years?
I haven't seen the contract, but
That's what said they
Yeah.
got. Okay, how about the pension? How much did they have to put towards it? Because you're talking, let's say 10 years ago it was what, $6 million on the pension for fire in the police department. Now it's what, 19 or 20 grand? 20
you're
million?
talking about what the city has to put in?
Yeah, they have to put in.
The city puts in about 10 to 12 million a year.
Right.
Okay? That's after the actuary does a study and tell what the shortfall is.
Well, the shortfall, what, 3 years ago? And the state gave the city $9 million to balance out the budget.
Who did?
The state gave the city money, $9 million or something like that.
Where'd you get that figure?
That's what I was, back then, that's what I figured they said.
What did they
The
give it?
state, for the state budget. For the city pension fund.
No, they never gave us 9 million.
That's what I heard.
No, somebody's smoking the funny weed if they told
Well,
you
like
that.
I said, I don't know, I'm just throwing it.
As controller, I can tell you that, no, it was never 9 million. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, I hate to call back, but you're talking about something that I was just looking into. Do our people that work for the city, are they part of the Pennsylvania state pension system?
No.
Yeah, there might be a few maybe that are, but
No.
it's a different system, because when I hear you talk about the pension being pretty in better shape than some,
Right.
it sounds like you have your own actuarial people that take care of things for
We do. The only people that come under, you're talking about what they call PSERS and SERS.
SERS, yeah. PSERS and SERS, yeah.
Yeah, PSERS is teachers, SERS is everybody else, but I'm not sure where they stick the state police. Are they under SERS?
You see, I'm not sure.
But yeah, what happened there a few years ago, just to, because Ronnie was bringing this up.
Yeah.
When a lot of municipalities, whether a lot of them are in trouble,
Right.
very few are fully funded. We are 70-some% funded.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all three together, but all three of them get evaluated separately too. But as a group, they are about 70-some% funded. Now, the state was after those that were 50% or below funded,
Yeah.
and they were going to try to throw them. The plan was to take police and fire and throw them into the state retirement system.
Yeah.
That didn't work because a lot of communities were afraid that all this is going to do is bail out Pittsburgh and Philly, especially Philly,
Yeah.
and Harrisburg, which was in trouble.
Yeah.
So, yeah, our plan is separate. We have a separate actuary. We have, we still get audited by the Auditor General,
Yeah.
and he reports, but we are separately funded.
But like the school teachers, they're covered under PERSERS, right?
Right. Like when I was on the school board, all we were given was a bill by the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
They said, this is your contribution to the state plan,
Yeah.
so deposit it.
Yeah.
Now remember, the teachers, even in our plan, the employees put money into that plan also.
Right.
401k, you mean?
No. They put, well, when you figure out what, I don't want to, you got a question? Because I want to explain something to Ronnie before we go off the air. Would you like to listen?
Cass, see, I looked a little bit, and right now teachers contribute 8% to the PERSERS.
Yeah, the new ones are doing that.
Yeah, 8%. But the school district themselves, because of them trying to get the pension back in solvency,
Right.
the school district has to come up with another 25% of payroll.
Well, yeah, I mean, here's what happens in the city, to explain to Ronnie.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
An actuary will come in every 2 years, but ours will keep us updated every year, but every 2 years you have to have an official actuary study. And what that does is that'll figure out how much money you need to operate your pension plan based on the benefits you've given out, and now you're figuring that over like 20 and 30-year periods for the assets and the liabilities, okay? So what the actuary will come in and say that, okay, here's your rate of assumption. You're assuming that you're going to make so much on the market. If you don't, you got to make up that difference. If the market does better, that's to your advantage. You also have mortality tables. They try to figure out the cost of the pension plan to be administered over the next few years. Okay, now, once they do that, they look at what you're bringing in, so you know how much the employees give you. Now, we have increased the police and fire contribution from the employees, okay, but like what they did in the state plan now is they're saying that new people coming in are gradually going to pay more each time.
Right.
Because they realize there's a shortfall. So then at the end of the actuary study, there's a projected figure of how short you'll be over the next 20, 30 years. So you prorate that for every, for the year that's coming up. And the shortfall was usually 10 to 12 million. Okay? Now, the city that's called the MMO, That's a minimal municipal obligation. So they had to put that money in every year. That's what, when I was controller, I had to give the mayor that bad news. This is how much we needed. Now, that figure has remained pretty, it's changed a little bit here and there. As our plan gets more funded, that's one thing, but you got to remember, people live longer too. So that's why that figure sometimes doesn't change a lot. So after that's figured out, now you're talking about a reimbursement, okay? We never got $9 million. We used to get it somewhere around $3 million.
I could have swore that was 3-4 years ago.
Well, you find out what you're talking about specifically. Okay. But we used to get like $3 million back. Then we have that tax that is above the .0016 or 18, that income tax, special tax levy. That has to go to that, to recovering pension debt and stuff. So we get another $5 or so million out of that. That takes care of a lot of the shortfall. But we still have to, every year we have to put that money in ahead of time.
Like I said, I work at a company in Erie.
Does that clear it up a little bit too?
Yeah, that was a good explanation, Kev. And I'll hang up and let people call in.
Okay, but I never knew of any $9 million that come in like that. Unless you can tell me what that,
I'll have to check it out.
We did a couple bond issues that,
Maybe that was
it. Go ahead, caller.
I want to get in on some of this. What I want to get into now, you're going to have a resolution on this week's agenda for the historical buildings in the city.
Right.
Isn't this a little kind of late for that?
What do you mean?
Because all the historical buildings have already been torn down. If it wasn't for Erie Insurance, we wouldn't have any in the city of Erie.
I agree with you, but you're talking about why David Brennan did this, but I guess, John, I wasn't a councilman then. I wasn't involved anyway when they made the decision to ball those buildings anywhere from the 60s on. I agree with you, John, but I think what they're hoping for now is that they say, moving forward, we don't do that mistake again.
Well, if I had a historical building right now, I'd say, well, if you want me not to do this, you buy my building for whatever it's assessed at.
Well, no, they're not saying you can't tear it down.
I understand that, but they want you to wait 90 days.
They want a cooling off period. Here's a prime example. Too many times, they go in there and you buy a building and you don't know whether somebody would be interested in buying it. Think of all the theaters we tore down in Erie.
That's true.
And we never once asked anybody, like the Warner was designated to be balled also, until someone come up with the idea that, hey, you know what? It might make a nice part of the Civic Center complex.
Yeah, but that's the state's building, isn't it?
Yeah, but here, John, until they came up with that idea, and until they figured out how to make it work, state involved or not, that building was going to be balled, okay?
True.
We would have had nothing. We would have had no theater left from the golden age. The Shades is gone, and we would have had the Strand, but the Strand is a modern building.
Yes, it is.
But you think of the Shades, the Colonial, all of them are gone. You look at all the other buildings that, the various historical buildings are balled by Hammett in the middle of the night, right?
Yeah.
Someday the buildings we have today will be old.
Yeah, you can go right up the street to the old Kohler building, too.
Yeah, and there's another one. But, at least they tried something there, and it was bogus, but they tried. I guess what they're saying is what they don't want to see. Like when we ask questions, if the building is in bad shape, it can still be demolished. Okay, if it's deemed a hazard to...
Oh, in bad shape, in whose opinion?
Well, if somebody comes in and says the building... Well, here, yourself, if you got a fire...
They said the Kohler building was in structural sound.
But if you have a fire, and it's determined that it's going to collapse the walls, okay, the building can go down, okay?
True.
But if you just... Think a few years ago when they had the fire at St. Pat's. What if they had tore that down,
Well,
like, here's a prime... Okay, what's going to happen when the diocese closes all these churches?
Well...
If they close a lot of them, right?
That's because everybody's getting away from Catholicism, and they're not getting the initial fee for each person.
Well, what do they do with the churches, though?
What do they do with the churches? Well, let let the Pope figure that out.
Well, no, I think what they're saying is, okay, before some guy just comes in and balls it, you come in and you say, is somebody out there in the community, want to do something with it? Can we save it? Is there a reason to save it? I think that's all that David Brennan wants to see. What he doesn't want to see is, somebody wakes up in the middle of the night and decides a Curtsey mansion is going down.
Well, the problem that's the problem who's ever issuing the permits to tear these buildings down.
And that's why now, if we got a law saying you can't do it, okay, at least we'll have a hearing. There'll be a process where they'll have to explain why they want to tear it down. There'll be a cooling off period.
Well, if I bought a building and I want to tear it down, and I have the money available within 90 days, you can take your historical society deeming of it and forget about it. Because my money is going to go forward, and I only have so much time to use my money, and I'm not going to be in this cooling off period. I hope they take that into consideration.
Well, I think this will be a work in progress, but hey, I just want to, I don't see anything wrong in just saying, before we start just, like what we did back in the 60s was...
Wholeheartedly.
That was like...
Now the horse is already out of the barn.
Yeah, but we still have a lot of buildings now, John, going forward that will be valuable. Like today's buildings, when they're 100 years old, maybe the architecture will be relevant in the future.
True. Well, go out to the Skinner Engine building.
But, I think...
On now, too.
Too many times in Erie, I think, we were worried about Academy High School.
Yeah, that was because Garvey wanted it for Mercyhurst.
Well, there was a lot of people who wanted it. He was one of them.
He was the majority of it. When he found out that he couldn't just have the field because it wasn't with it, then all of a sudden that deal washed up.
But there was another hospital involved, too.
That's true.
But, now you look at it, you say, there's a beautiful building that's renovated. I think...
What, the Jefferson Society building?
No, that's the Jewish temple.
That's the old Jewish...
Yeah, but Jefferson Society own that, don't they?
What?
The Jewish temple.
Yeah, we're talking about Academy High School.
I'm just looking up the street there.
Yeah. But I just think, I don't think it hurts to have a cooling off period, and if the building is that bad, and it's structurally, endangered, it will go down,
It's just like where the building is, those rooms or those homes for the soldiers up there. That was a great old antique building, too. Up on Peach Street.
Yeah.
And so, get a hold of your streets department and tell them to clean the south side from the Vets Hospital from State Street all the way to Old French Road.
Oh, okay. I'm riding that way home. I'll take a look.
Half an inch of dirt along the curb line. Yeah, we see the sweepers out when it's snowing out, but when they should be out doing what they should be, they don't do it.
And if you see them without water, don't feel free to call me. Or call the streets department and complain.
Without water, I'll get a car wash and bring it down to the mayor. Bill, have a great day.
Okay.
Have a nice week.
Well, I guess we got to go off the air, right?
Oh, wait a second.
Wait.
What were we going to talk about? It was something else. Well, if anybody wants to talk about things, call in next week.
All right, maybe you'll have to wait. Go ahead, caller.
Do you realize that you don't have any audio, Kaz?
We don't.
No, your channel's completely silent. I tuned in a half an hour ago, and I've been trying to get through to tell you.
I don't know. I mean, we got other people, they've been listening, haven't said a thing.
Wow.
My wife has audio because she called me to tell me something.
Wow, that is totally odd.
I wonder if maybe you got a little...
Right now, I'm just sitting...
Where do you live?
Semka flap his lips.
Where do you live? Hello?
What up? This is DJ. Hello?
DJ.
Yes.
DJ, we don't have audio?
Yeah, I can't hear you at all. I tuned all the other stations and there's audio, and I'm looking and listening, and you guys ain't got nothing.
My wife has it at home.
Then something is strange.
So you guys over there can't get it?
Yeah, my channel's got audio, you guys got nothing.
Huh.
Alrighty, I'll let you go.
I'll tell Mike then. Thanks for calling.
Alright, later.
Well, that's it, I guess.
Yeah, hasta la vista.
Have a nice week, people.
Go ahead, caller.
I got audio. Tell these people to reboot their TVs. A lot of time that does it.
Yeah, well, DJ's down at Cat TV, I guess is where he's saying it.
Well, he has to pay his electric bill, so.
No, well, he's okay.
That's great.
See you, John. And with that, thanks, Ron, for showing up today.
All right. Have a beautiful week, people.
Wonder what happened there. Sometimes they
You got the music up there.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching the Taxpayers Hotline Show on Erie Zone Government Access, Channel 9.